going on, guys? My name is Treeburgers and welcome to our second episode in the series of how to start Crossout, what to do, how to get a good start, and stuff like that. So today we are looking at how you craft your first real vehicle after starting the game. As you can see, we are level 5 at the moment. We completed the first 5 games that you have to do in order to get to here with this vehicle that we got here, and it is in fact a really decent vehicle, but you could easily change things up and make this look way better and function way better. So that's what we are trying to do today. Now we want a vehicle that grinds XP very well, because we want to level up fast so that we can unlock more factions, and so we can level up the factions as well. Now, how do you do this? A lot of people want to investigate all of the new weapons that becomes available once you get to play the game, but in my opinion, stay with the safe choice, because right now the safe choice is the LM54 Colt, because machine guns just output decent consistent damage, and that's really all you want here in the beginning. You don't want a vehicle that outputs like hard hits every once in a while, which you can do with the Avenger cannon. You just want a vehicle where you can strip off parts and where you can grab kills, because that's what's gonna give you points in the game. You can hit a dude for 2,000 points and then get like 70 points for it, or you can kill an enemy by hitting him for, as you can see, we got 359 points of durability at the moment. And if I kill myself, I think I would give something like 400, 500 points maybe. So securing a kill with good, decent hits is way better than just throwing out a cannon shot, dealing a lot of damage, but not really hitting any vital parts or stripping off a lot of parts. So you don't want to strive to do so. You just want to get good, consistent hits, and the way of doing so is by Colts. Now, we got this vehicle with the Alienware pack, so you might not have all of these cosmetic parts, but those are not really relevant all that much. What you want is just good structural parts like these fenders, and yeah, nothing else at the moment because we haven't put any extra on it. So let's just start out by removing these outer fenders. And a good way of getting extra durability is just by stacking all of these durability parts. And as you can see, the fender here gives us 25 points of durability. So if I double this one like we just did, it makes it look pretty cool. And also, as you can see, if I just remove this again, our durability goes to 349 points. So if I put this on 374 actually, so this cabin has to be hit for 370 points of damage before we die. Now we could go over here and do the same thing on the other side as well, like so. Now our vehicle has 400 points of durability all of a sudden. And we can slap these on once again, and as you can see, our vehicle has actually gotten a pretty thick profile as well, which looks really good and is really nice. Now we have a ton of different parts in here, and I'd say as a beginning you could just grab the parts with the highest amount of durability. That's a pretty safe way of giving yourself extra structure. But we also have some weapons on here, and we want to cover those so that they aren't all that exposed. And there's so many ways of doing it, really. One way could be to maybe hide them behind parts. Now this one will not get stripped off very easily, but it can't shoot either. But what you can do is, and this is just an example, but I don't even know if these will go too high. They will, but you could do, let's see, something like this. Now the barrel here goes over this radiator part, but it's still able to shoot. And if we just, I think this is the best way of doing it. You could hide it something like this. Give me just a second. I'm just gonna close Discord because things are going crazy at the moment. Goodbye. Good stuff. But we have so many parts in which we can use to hide our weapons and make sure that they can take additional shots before being stripped off of our vehicle. As you can see, there are just so many options. Let's remove this one. Whoops, wrong click. Yep. I think what I'm trying to say here is just that you can do this in so many ways. There are not really any rules to it or anything, but there's just so many options for what you can do with your weapons. And I guess we could just keep that bit there just for the sake of it. Now, another way of doing it is, I don't think we can extend that. No, nope, we can't. But how many parts do we have? We got 4 parts left at the moment. Now, the next thing that you could do is mount them something like this. And the reason that this works is because the buggy floors can be shot through. So machine gun shots, let me just demonstrate to you here. If we go out to a build, it's parked out here, and we got the, let's just see the part here. As you can see, it takes just 1 damage each time that we shoot it. So it needs a lot of shots before it goes off. So therefore, all of these parts, the buggy floor and the machine gun mounts, or the weapon mounts, whatever it's called, once you get those, they are just so much more efficient for weapon mounting and stuff like that. So when you get those parts, make sure to use them, because they are hella efficient. So you want to do that when you get them. Now, a good way to mount your weapons could be something like this, because now they are hidden behind the cabin, and therefore they can't be hit as easily, because if you get hit, like say struck from a low mounted weapon down here, probability is that they will hit your cabin more than they will hit these guns. So just by moving them back a bit, you will hide them extra. And you can actually also do, like if we go just 1 layer down, I think they can still sit here. Yep, they can. Now we have another issue here, and that is that the weapons in the front are actually blocking the vision. So as you can see, we don't have many firing options unless we go out to here before we can fire our weapons. And you can deal with this in a lot of ways. One way of doing it is just by, you know, removing one, doing so. Now we can shoot like this, but we want to keep all 4 weapons. So what do? Another option is doing something like this, maybe even move it back just a tiny bit. And we should be able to fire all 4 at the same time. We can, but we don't have a very big firing angle, so this might actually not even be the most efficient still. You can always also side mount your guns, if I can get the direction correct. There we go, something like this maybe. But that exposes two of our guns pretty much. But it definitely is still better, because now we can fire them all. There you go. As long as we're facing somewhat forward, or we can fire them when we are facing backwards. The fenders here are causing some issues, but in my opinion, this is still way more functional than a lot of the builds you see. We could also do this, but the reason that this is not very good is because fenders take full damage when you hit them. They are not like buggy floors, so they will not just take 1 damage whenever you shoot at them. So as you can see, if we go here, this fender, there we go, just 1 shot, we lost it, and because we lost that 1 fender, we also lost that 1 gun. And if we do the same there, look, it's just gone, and it's gone so easily. So that is never ideal. You always want to mount your weapons on the cabin or on these parts. So what do we do with our weapons? Now, in my opinion, the way we had them before, as long as we don't have more parts that we can use, I just go for something like this at the moment. And then we can remove these. And if you don't care about aesthetics, which you shouldn't do all that much right now, you could just do something like this. Because as you can see, our guns are now pretty well protected actually, compared to what they were before. And then you can do, whoops, something like this as well. So now we actually have a pretty decent protected vehicle here. And we also have some parts here on the sides that can be shot before the cabin will be hit. There's so many ways of doing it, and it's really up to you to choose what you prefer. And we just have so many parts really that we can use. Like this might even be better yet to protect our machine guns, because as you can see, this part has a pretty high profile, so your weapons won't be hit all that much. Now you have to shoot off that part, and as you can see we just did so. It's down there, so now we can hit the weapons. So it will just allow your weapons to be safe for additional time before they will be stripped. And there's really so many options that you can go for. I wouldn't protect my guns with the buggy floors, and that is for the same reason that you want to use them for gun mounts, because they can be shot through. So watch what happens when I go out here and I aim for the base of that weapon. Do you see that? We lost the weapon, but we didn't lose the buggy floor. So the part was shot through, and we still lost our weapon due to that. So if you want to protect your weapons with these parts, make sure to grab parts that are not being shot through, or that you can't shoot through, rather. That must be the correct way of saying it. So let's just do some weird stuff here, and then we got something that looks like a build, I think. Now that's pretty good, and you should be able to grind some pretty decent points with this build that we've created here. And again, it's not a really exciting build, it's nothing out of the ordinary, it's just a plain good build, and hopefully we can do good with it. You can also use cosmetic parts to protect your weapons if you want to, but do note that cosmetic parts don't have a ton of survivability. This one has like 9 durability, and they do not add anything extra to your vehicle's durability. So if you decide to use those, you will not get any bonuses from it, other than just the durability of the item itself. Whoops. But yeah, there's a ton of options, so go with whatever you like. Actually, we can do this even better, in my opinion. We could go for something like this, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what works better. It's really up to you guys to figure. Let's just see. The reason that I want to move mine around just a bit is because I like my vehicle aesthetic, and I want it to look aesthetic, so I always play around with the looks of my build, but it's really up to you to decide how you want it to look. So there we go. I think that's pretty good. Do we need these bombers right now? I don't think we do, because I don't think we will meet any grinders at the moment. So we could. The looks are not important at the moment. We just want a vehicle that is functional, and this one is more than it was before, at least. So let's just paint this one up once again. Let's do some funky paints here. Good stuff. There we go. And I guess that's somewhat of a build. So let's just see how it does. One thing I did not mention is that check your daily missions, because you will either meet a daily mission that says win 5 battle with machine guns, with cannons, or with shotguns. And we will look at that afterwards, but basically this is a good all-round build. This build can have either shotguns or machine guns, and will perform pretty well in both contexts. So you can do either. Whoops. That's a really bad start, because we got a lot of enemies here. But let's just see if we can strip this dude for his weapons before he does so. And as you can see, the points are just steadily coming into our game, our experience base here. I don't know what you want to call it, but we're getting a pretty good amount of points here just by slaughtering these dudes. We're at 350 already. So, like I said, machine guns are just a good way of grinding consistent points. And let's see if we can grab some more kills here. Oh god, we got someone behind us now. Now this dude has machine guns and shotguns on his build. And I wouldn't recommend doing so, because both weapons don't function at the same range. So if you go for the same, you will struggle with either the machine guns or the shotguns, because shotguns are a close range weapon. So never mount those if you want to stay out of range, because you won't hit with them, and then it's just wasted energy really. we don't want to lose the rest of our machine guns here, so let's just hope that this dude will not focus them. I hope that we strip them quickly. There we go. We lost the wheel though. Not good. We got that kill as well. So there we go, and another 300 points, so more than 700 points in this first game of today. Which is really nice. A really nice start. Let's see, where is he? I thought I saw his name there. Yes, we did. And there we go. And I think we actually got the last kill as well. So that's pretty good. 783 points is a lot. As you can see, we are just growing here. We got, what is that? 1/7 of a level. And now we've also won 3 battles in missions. What? Why did we get that one? Oh well. You're preparing for a raid, and that's dangerous business. Here's a couple of free repair kits that should help you return to battle when it gets too hot. Okay, so we must have unlocked raids now. Yup, we did. We got the chase raid going, which is nice. So now we can complete an easy raid. And we will cover that in our next video, I think. But as you can see, we've gained some progress in the battles and missions, and battles and missions or raids using a machine gun. Watch out for those, because it's really important to mount the correct weapons, and this one can easily be swapped out to a machine gun build without much hassle. So yeah, I guess this pretty much covers it for a good XP grinder, because you just want machine guns. In my opinion, don't go for anything else. You want consistent damage and consistent possibility to kill, and you won't have that if you go for cannons early game. Go for cannons when you like want to play for fun, but if you just want to grind, machine guns all the time. And the first real thing that you want to go for in here are really none of these weapons. The rapier can be okay, the little boy can be okay, but again, you gotta land your shots and you won't gain a ton of kills. So in my opinion, if you want to grind blue parts, go for something like the radiators or weapon coolers. Personally, I would keep all of my materials until I can get to the nomads and start creating the vector, which is the first item that I would start producing as blue items. But like I said, that's it for this episode. I know we didn't cover all that much gameplay and stuff, but I just wanted to get some tips on a good beginner vehicle. In the next episode, we will be looking at how to mount fuel barrels and stuff like that, because we need fuel in order to play raids, and raids are a big part of grinding resources. So yeah, that will be all for it. Until next time, have an awesome day, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch this series and get to know when the next episode comes out. So have an awesome day. Bye.